All right, here we are, folks. It's another week of MaREC Madness. It's a Tuesday night in the wonderful month of MaREC. So it's time for MaREC Madness over here at Rec.Poker. I'm so excited. I'm Jim Reed. I'm your host for tonight. And I'm joined in the booth by none other than longtime OG of Rec.Poker himself, Chris Jones. Chris, it's MaREC Madness, man. Are you excited?
Let's go. We got the Elite Eight here. Let's go. Getting down to a
The,
Final Four.
Yeah,
Here we
exactly.
are.
Elite Eight, I love it. Another way that you may have heard of March Madness. They stole that idea. We totally had it first. And if you don't know, this is our all throughout the month of MaREC, we have a series of heads up matches going throughout this ladder style tournament. You can find out more about all the details if you go to rec.poker, where you can sign up for a free account. And all it takes is an email address and a smile, as we like to say. And this is just a fun tournament series that we run. We have qualifiers throughout the year, every quarter, and it's just a great way to kind of practice this heads up game, which can be kind of hard to simulate otherwise. So I'm really looking forward to this. We've had 16 fantastic participants throwing their hats in the ring. Chris, take us through the matches we're going to see tonight as we enter week three and round two of MaREC
Yeah.
Madness.
Well, week three, we're gonna kick it off with two kind of uh regulars, wrecking crew members. East Coast bidder Ben Enslow is gonna take on Elvita 11, Joe Kulis. And they both had tough matchups in the round of 16 and survived into there. So that'll be our first matchup. It'll be a good way to kick us off. Second max matchup is two other really kind of old school Wrecking Crew members. Rob Washam, Rabman 50, will be taking on uh, Eric Jin, come Binkley.
Hmm.
And uh, that'll be an, I mean, that's a like a classic matchup, totally classic matchup. I'm looking forward to that. And then, I mean, we're just in for a real treat tonight because then we have Kim Kilroy, PetFet 33, against Daniel Kennedy, Spot Conlon. That's a pretty elite matchup right there.
Minnesota Zone. That's right.
Yeah, so that'll be fun to watch. And then our nightcap is two bracelet winners, WSOP bracelet winners, squaring off in the nightcap. Matt Matros versus Savage Poker, Craig Savage.
Outstanding. I mean, who would have thought? And I got to give a big shout out to Taylor Moss. Taylor Moss is the guy behind MaREC Madness. He puts it together every year. It's kind of his brainchild. And if you'd have told him 6 years ago that we'd have two Wrecking Crew members who also have WSOP bracelets facing off in the Elite Age of MaREC Madness, I'm pretty sure that would put a smile on his face. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
And yeah, how cool. And I mean, again, you said it. Just a bunch of fantastic competitors out here tonight. Ben versus Joe. This one is going to be an interesting match. These guys, they're both on the show. They both talk a lot of strategy. Joe kind of likes to play it a little cool.
Does he play it
Um,
cool?
exactly. But Ben also has that kind of shucks
Yeah.
energy. But
Yeah.
it's a trap. I think both these guys can pull the trigger at any moment. Do you have a prediction, Chris, for how this is going to go as we get started?
These two players are really solid, but I think I'm gonna go, man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with B Jammin in this one.
The when Joe is one of our prior champions of
Yeah.
MaREC
Yeah, it's tough
Madness,
to pick against a prior champ.
and he rides. He just loves that role of the underdog
Wait,
and
can
sort
I
of like the
change my answer? If he's gonna
underappreciated guy.
flop
No,
like
I'm
this, I
locking
want.
you in. I'm locking you in. I'm gonna go with Joe to get the other side of this. And good luck to both of our players. This is going to be a lot of fun. If folks want to see more of both of these players, Joe and Ben are actually really involved in our free community events here at Rec Poker. Ben streams his play in various platforms on Wednesdays and Sundays, and Joe has a monthly study session that's free to all of our free community members. There's actually one this week on Thursday night.
So Ben checks back here. This is a this is a really interesting spot here. Um,
Both players have seven high.
yeah, but the six plays, right? Am I right? Yeah, the six does play. So
That's pretty crazy. It's true.
you
Oh,
can't
he's
possibly think he's good, but
yeah, nice. I love to see it. There's one theme I've noticed, Chris. I've been in the booth for each of these matches this year, And the the importance of position really is paramount
Mm-hmm.
in heads up, and it really has been a sword for some and a shield for others in some of these matches.
Yeah.
So we're starting nice and deep, 75 big blinds. Joe's opening to a 2.2 sizing. We'll see Ben's thinking about
And
what
I
to
think
do
you
with the
could, with
suited
that king
king.
four, you could do lot of different things, but the call makes a lot of sense. We often have the best hand here, so then the check there. And then when the king comes, it's an interesting spot for us after it went check check. And I think I like this lead here because I think it's in danger of going check check again, but and he just takes it down, and I think that's fine.
When you're playing heads up like this, you're starting with such wide ranges that you don't really have to be as afraid of
Yep.
flush draws as you
Yep.
might otherwise, because players are playing just so many more combinations of offsuit hands than they
Yeah,
would
it's
be
it's
with.
absolutely true. So it's interesting. He went to 2.2 and now he's gone to a min raise, and we haven't even switched blind levels or whatever, but be curious to see how that plays out with his approach here.
I'll wonder if it's related to the strength of his hand, which is always something we like to discourage, but we'll keep an eye. I also like, Joe's a psychological player. He might just be changing it up because it maybe creates an impression of some kind that he's going to counter. That wouldn't
Could be. I
surprise me
mean,
one
he
bit.
he'd be the one. He'd be the one, right? That you
Yeah.
wouldn't want messing with your mind. Nice little small bet takes it down there. Be curious to see if Bjamin opens this or folds this. We'll see how wide he's gonna be in these spots. Does find an open.
Mm.
Hmm. So really, I mean, again, because you mentioned it earlier with ranges so wide, when we have these kinds of monotone flops are really interesting. Ah, and Joe just leads out.
This is kind of a you have it or you don't flop.
Uh-huh.
So in a game where both players are likely to miss, I do kind of like the idea of just giving
Hmm.
it. Oh, and there you go. Ben sniffs it out.
Finds the courage with the four diamonds.
That's right.
This is a tough rate. I mean, when you get called here and even if you hit your diamond, you're just like in absolute kind of agony. So that's a very risky check raise there, but I kind of like the play.
I love that. I love that play. Yeah. Well, I think, it's sort of like we were talking about. If it's a high frequency bet, then people are doing it with a lot of hands that can't
Can't
withstand
withstand
the
it.
check
Yeah.
raise. And Ben's a sneaky aggressive player.
Hmm.
Got some fun folks in the chat here. Evil Roy, hello. Bone Crusher, welcome, welcome. Jeff Cat says, Team Ben.
Team Ben, all right. Well, he is leading so far.
He's up.
He's had some nice little pots here and there.
And he's been on the ascent really over the last few years. He's just been getting more and more into poker and into
Hmm.
rec poker and streaming and playing and training. And you can tell he's really been taking his study more seriously and putting in some volume. And it's been great to see him coming along.
This is going to be an interesting one. So Ben's got a weak top pair on a pretty, dynamic board for Ace King Queen doesn't usually get this dynamic. And we're going to get a raise from Joe. I'm not, it's an interesting raise. I mean, we've got bottom pair, and the flush draw. I think this is one we can maybe call with.
I wonder,
Um,
it's almost like it's too good to check
yeah,
raise there?
yeah, it is almost too, and it's sort of, but it's sort of like weirdly too weak too. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's a weird spot for that hand.
I like it better as a flush draw without the pair,
Yep. Yeah,
even,
absolutely.
because then you're not kind of giving up that showdown value.
But now that we've taken this line and we've hit two pair, yeah, I think I was just gonna say we need to bet this and bet pretty big. Um,
Yeah.
and he's gonna wow, he's gonna get called too. So nice hand for Joe Cool there.
I like that he targeted a relatively strong holding,
Hmm.
um, given the action, and got the call. There's that 2.2 sizing, 50 blinds effective now.
Check, check. The ace is sort of intriguing. I think this is one that we can bet small with in this spot. Or, I mean, our king can be good, so the check back's okay too.
Yeah, that was one big adjustment that I noticed when I was looking more into heads up play a few years ago. And it's probably outdated by now, but just how much more valuable King High is
Yeah.
than in even three player, let alone full ring games. These guys have complementary cards, but that's just a tough board to hit. And when it's a tough board to hit like that, I tend to favor the in position player.
Agreed.
Even money says Ben wins this one. Actually, we shouldn't say that
S-
kind of language on YouTube right
Yeah, we'll just get shadow banned
now.
by the overlords.
I think Ben's coming along here. I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I agree he
Good
is. And then,
price.
well, I mean, that's sort of, I mean, it's sort of an interesting card because now our flush is good against everything but the full houses. I kind of wish that River was a different card. I would have
Yeah,
liked to have
just to
seen
not have the
this.
double pair. Yeah, there you go. Because look at Joe pouncing on that. And it puts Ben in a really tough position with a flush. Can you imagine if you had
Yeah,
anything weaker than a flush here?
yeah. I mean, he can't really raise this, so he's just got it. Yeah, but I think he can't fold it either. So,
And I like Joe going for the pot there when the nuts change like that
yep,
so
yep.
drastically. That's very scary. Hey, we got some more folks in the YouTube chat. Richard, welcome. Long time no see, man. How's the weather up there? JB Twin Cities made it in. Fantastic. We got people from all over popping in. Some Canadians, some people even further north than here, some lovely Minnesotans and beyond. I don't want to dox anybody. I think we might even have do we have a Tennessean in the group?
Do we have a
Not sure.
Tennessean?
Maybe we might.
Hmm.
Is that the appropriate language? Us Canuckians aren't real
I don't.
dialed into the
Yeah.
state by
I
state.
guess that's got to be right. I
Sounds
actually
right.
don't know. I mean, what else would it be? Tenna
Tennis
citizen?
Tennessippian?
Tenna.
All
I
right,
don't
say
know.
this. Ben's betting his open-ended or his gut shot straight draw.
Got the gutter. Joe really doesn't have too much of right, so it's hard to defend there. Jim's the only 10 I
You got
see.
some flattery, some subtle flattery from the producer here tonight.
I guess so.
Oh, see, Joe's got one of my favorite hands here, except every time I get it, I have to really fight the urge to say Roger out loud, the old 10-4. And
Well, it just
it,
got
it pains me.
sent into the muck.
Yeah, as it should every
Yeah,
time.
every time.
But I really want to say that every time I get it. And I really want to like play it in the big blind, and I just try not to. And usually I don't.
Another one of these kind of like disconnected paired boards. Spades are available, but a small bet can usually take this down. We've got deuces, which means we're beating every unpaired hand.
Which is most
Three
of them.
doesn't sort of scare us that much. So
A
it's
lot to protect against
yeah,
too. Here we go.
yeah, yeah. I like this bet.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
well,
man. Well,
that's poker.
yeah, and honestly, that bet, you'd think that bet could clear out some of those kinds of holdings too. So, um, I like the bet. We might want to go a little bit bigger on that
Thinking
turn,
a little
but
bit bigger.
it's still, I think it's the right idea.
Yeah, and doesn't have to be huge.
No,
And Joe did have two overcards to the nine there.
right,
I think if it was like I probably fold some jack, X
right, right.
where they're not quite as strong. So they both got a piece of this.
Yeah,
It could
this could
get
be
ugly with a couple of back doors. Now this feels like a strong enough hand to value check raise. Oh, and
hmm,
he does. And with just the min click back,
min click
getting
too.
dirty, getting dirty in the sizings. That's always a scary card. That really brings in a lot of
It does.
draws or even, the two pair draws. But I think Joe realizes it's just, especially heads up, it's hard to make top pair. He's got a pretty good kicker. And now he's even got a backdoor straight draw, or a gut shot straight draw.
It's a nice fold too there.
Yeah.
Don't want to be hanging on with too much there.
Chris, sometimes I find that I am, when I pick up additional equity like that, like when a backdoor comes in, I'm just tempted to bet because I feel like I've gained more equity in the hand than I had before. Um, but is it one of those things that like sometimes it just like promotes you into that part of your range where now it's too good to turn it into a
I
check
think
raise?
sometimes it really depends what that additional equity is and how the hand is played out. You know, I don't think you want to be that. I don't think it'd be once like every time you gain equity, you're like, okay, now green light, let's go. I think
Right.
that's probably not the right approach.
That's a good point. That probably has some consequences for the times that you don't act actively.
Probably, doesn't it?
Some knock-on effects.
Yeah.
All right, two terrible hands.
Yeah, this is good. These are the hands that you love in kind of heads up plays when
Yeah.
nobody hits anything. And Joe now hits the deuce, but curious if he thinks it's strong enough to bet after it goes check, check. He does. He bets really small.
Yep,
I
really
think if we are
small.
going to bet here, I think the small bet is great.
Me
And
too.
yeah, and he'll take it down.
Value target. I love it. Here we go again. A bit of a setup. They both have king two.
Yep. Let's
Luckily, clubs don't
just
come.
get it all in, right?
You're right. Hey, man, a king, from what I understand, I've been reading up on this, is one of the top two cards in
It
all of
is one of
poker.
the top two. So yeah, just
Yep.
get your chips in the middle.
It's math right there.
Yeah. That's why you like King 10 so much.
Ugh, God. The problem with King 10 is that it actually puts you in like difficult positions where like you might actually be good. King 2, it's just like bye
I mean,
bye.
look at King 10 on this board.
Yeah, well, that's an above average board for King 10. I think is the technical way to describe that. Now I wonder, okay, Ben goes for the smooth call here, and I was wondering if we were maybe going to get one of these sort of you know, riskier or more polarizing three bets.
Yeah. Yeah, we
It
haven't
went,
seen too many. It's been pretty straightforward pre-flop action here. It's been a
and
little bit of stuff post-flop that's been kind of interesting, but
yeah, and both
just
players are very familiar with, having a polarized three bet and like opening wide and that kind of thing. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more pre-flop aggression.
check, check. Joe now hits the pair out of position.
I'm always betting here, even I don't know if it's
Yep,
right, but
I think that's right.
I think Ben has no nines when he checks back there. So if he has no nines, you got to feel pretty good about your seven.
Yeah.
I like it.
See how Joe feels about some of the worst hands. Yep, he's gonna fold it. I think that's a good fold. I think that's a hand we just kind of get rid of.
Yeah, both players have a folding range. That hasn't
Yes.
always been the case for these heads up matches. You can squeeze a lot of equity out of almost every hand. Got some fun chat going on here in on YouTube. Thanks for joining us live, everybody. Fresh from your blizzard, JB. Okay, we had a big blizzard, like a freak snowstorm up here too. It cut out my power
Yeah,
during the
we
podcast
a
last
couple
night.
days ago we had here we go. Now here's an oh
Oh, dirty. All right.
strap in, folks. All right, so this is a three bet pot, and we have a pretty interesting
And
hand. This actually could
there's so
it,
many
if Ben
chips in
sends this,
already.
I think he can't fold. I think this is just he's gonna need a spade or a king
It's
here.
the only way to keep him in the game. Let's see. It does
No.
not happen.
Wow.
And Joe takes it. Be jamming. Well played, sir.
Yeah,
And I think you
GG.
way to push that edge, but
There's nothing you can do on that
no.
when and that run out that action. So uh
Yep.
GG Ben and congrats. All he does is win, man. Joe Cool just wins. He just
I mean, I remember when he first started getting more involved in rec poker, and he was talking about how, oh, I'm not really here to talk about strategy, more of, sort of examining the mind and this sort of thing, clinical research. Um, but he has been winning like an uncomfortable amount since then. I think it's kind of a credit to our training material here at Rec Poker, if I do
there you
say so
go.
myself, and his brilliant mind. Fair enough.
Probably that. Probably
Probably
that.
that. But like maybe a combination of those two
Could
things
be
is all
those
I'm
things.
saying.
Yeah, together.
All right.
All
Congratulations,
right.
Joe, who
Yeah.
makes it possible for us to have a previous champion win again. So we'll see what happens in the final four. All right, Chris, we've
We
got
have now
Rob
Eric
Wash and
Jin and
Eric
Rob
Jin.
Washam. Yeah.
Ooh. Two coaches here at Rec Poker. Both have hosted bi-weekly study groups for years. Eric with
Yep.
his Play, Explain, and Learn, and Rob with his book study. Eric's actually starting a new monthly cash game coaching session that's happening this week, which is I'm pretty excited about, which is kind of based on some of the Peel stuff.
Yeah, I
So
that's super cool that he's doing that. So if you haven't checked that out, get into our community and check out Eric's new stuff because it's a cool new segment he's doing.
yeah, it's such a wonderful way of getting at that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's free. The videos anyway are free for all of our community members. So go check that out. Won't cost you a dime. So two very studied players. Rob's
Hmm.
read all the books. He's led these guided study groups through all these books, these great poker books. Um, I think Eric probably doesn't have Rob's experience in the short stacked play of tournament finishing, but they're both live players. They're both very experienced. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know which way I'm going. What do you think, Chris? Do you have a prediction for us?
Oh man, you don't want to pick against either of these players. But I know how much we like clowns, so I'm just always going with the guy who has a clown emoji. So I'm going with Binkley here.
Nice, nice. Oh man, we had a great clown comment in here a couple years ago. I think there was a MaREC Madness. It escapes me at the moment. But
And
oh
he's
my
I mean,
God!
and he's getting dealt just the
Wow,
nuts here. So like, yeah, we're going with Binkley.
wow.
We're going with Binkley.
Okay, yeah, that decision was made for you rather quickly there, Chris. Now let's see if Rob is going to come along.
See, you just dodge everything with this hand.
So this one should go check bet, I think.
Yeah, I think we
Um,
should always be betting this as Binkley. Don't have to bet very big. Um, the hearts make us maybe bet a little bit bigger than if this was a total Badoogie board, but and we just
yep,
take it down.
I like it. And I think it's important. Sometimes a small bet, speaking exploitatively only against a lot of the players that we're playing against, I think a small bet on the flop, even if all it does is allow you to continue telling a story on future streets, like there's some hidden equity there in
Mhm.
just having some bluffs like make more sense on future streets. Oh, this is really interesting. Okay, very cool. So Rob's opening to 3x with King 9 offsuit, which is a pretty strong hand, heads up. Eric takes the 3-bet spot with 5-4 suited, covers a lot of boards, and gets the fold from
Yeah, he
much better.
does. Gets King Nine to fold there.
So we're not getting the
And
same. We're not getting. the same sort of straightforward pre-flop play already coming out of the gate, Eric firing.
Yeah.
And I love those suited connector three bets in
Yeah,
spots like this.
they're pretty spicy.
What's nice about them is that what you really want in a three bet pot is the opportunity to c bet at a high frequency because you can do it for pretty small sizings. So suited connectors, they just interact with a lot of boards well. You have like
Right.
enough equity that then you can take this
And
profitable play of c betting small.
and the other thing that's really great about a hand like 4 or 5 is that when you hit a board, nobody sees it.
Yeah.
But when the board is like ace, king, deuce or whatever, well, I guess it's a gut shot. Ace, king, 7, you can bet at it and they fold to you, and it's just, yeah, it's just a really nice, it's a nice spot.
Yeah. So open up that three bet range, folks, especially against wide opening ranges like you're going to see here tonight with these two technicians.
We might see another one here
I was
if
going to
Rob
say
elects to open this.
he does, and he's sticking to that 3x sizing while they're nice and deep. And it's pretty even right now. The Somsky ratio is basically
Okay, we
one to
find
one.
a call here. So he's taking his more trashy suited connectors and turning
Mm,
those into some three bets, and or maybe he's, maybe it's clubs he does it and spades he doesn't. Who knows?
right.
But
And pretty good flop for Rob
yeah,
there.
that's an above average flop for 7-4.
He'd characterize that. Uh, okay, so I think this is we'll find out. Yeah, Rob does have that folding range at the very bottom
He's
there, and I
found the
think
fold button.
yeah,
It exists on his side.
I don't think that's the end of the world. Not allergic to folding sometimes. Let's see, we've got our man Dan Kennedy in the YouTube chat saying backdoor two pair draws are always fun.
Backdoor two pair draws. Those are always fun. He makes
That's
a
a
good
good
point.
one. Phil Razor's in the chat. Hey pal, nice to see you, buddy. I did not have 50 cigarettes before the stream started, but I am feeling
49.
a little
It
under
was
the
only
weather.
49 I was
49
watching.
does not count. Does not count. He said 50. And Benny, hey, welcome, man. That's right. MSPT champion Phil Razor is in the chat. You nailed it, Benny. Amazing. I love what we have going on over here, Chris. This is so much fun, man.
And it's really like this flop. We weren't really paying attention to the action too much, but Rob just made a really nice kind of two backdoor. Speaking of backdoors, two backdoor, three raise on this flop here, which I liked a lot.
Is that 3x3 that Matt Affleck was telling us about, where you have three to a straight and three to a flush?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, not so much equity that you even should call, or not so much equity
Right.
that you're worried
But
about
when you
getting blown
raise
off
and
it.
are called, there's a lot of turn cards that give
Yeah.
you that increased equity. So it's a really attractive spot to find those check raise bluffs.
That really stuck with me from my sessions with Matt.
I've never heard that called 3 by 3, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's close to a trademark violation, I will
I
say.
know, right? I thought you'd like that. So here we go. Rob's taking the check call line on the flop with top pair. It's got to feel like a monster in this configuration,
Hmm.
though.
Hmm.
And he does just call. Pretty safe river. Now, will he check again? So really hoping that Eric's got second pair and not
Yeah.
uh, something
And Eric
something he can
just, I
bet.
think, gives up probably rightly. I think once you're called, I mean, you could go for it there, but I mean, you had an important card with the 9, but
Yep.
that's a, it can get a little, when somebody calls you twice there, they usually have something.
There's only so many heart combos in the world.
Right.
I like the call there with ace high. Like it's just a very strong hand um, as these things go. And you see Rob take his foot off the gas on the turn there with a lot of overcards. Get those sixes to showdown. I see Phil's listing his accomplishments in the YouTube chat again. Isn't that weird that Phil's doing that? That's so
It
strange.
is weird.
Huh.
He usually doesn't trumpet all his
That's
accomplishments.
right. He's usually such
It's
a
it's a very
humble,
rare sighting.
modest
He's such a
guy. It's
modest
weird.
modest
Yeah.
man.
I'm glad we were here to see it, capture it forever.
All right, this is
Ooh,
interesting. They
yeah.
both have the gutter, but Binkley's got a much more attractive hand. Yeah.
And he sizes up there, which I think you're going to be doing on a lot of these dynamic boards, no matter
Yep.
what you have. But in particular, if you're exploitative at all, then especially when you have when you want more fold equity with those like semi bluffs, and that becomes very important. Great flop for Rob, open ended. Probably not enough on the other end for a big pot here, but we'll see if he
But
tries to
I
rep
think
the ace.
this is a spot where Rob maybe wants to find a bet. I mean, the ace favors us. We've got the open ender.
Yeah,
We want to clear out equity. There's a lot of high cards hands like this one that can just are auto folds. So I think it's a really good bet.
I love it. And it pays off. And Rob even has a folding range in the big blind there to that sizing. He's just makes that continuing range all the stronger, Chris.
All right,
Trumbull.
are we get where how are we going to see with the yep, okay, so four
There it
five
is.
suited again finds a raise, but it has run into a little bit more of a problematic holding here. This
Although
is an
that's
interesting flop.
so they can here you go. One of those great opportunities where now you coordinate in a way you can put out a small C bet. I expect we'll see like four big blinds here or five, something like that. What do you think, Chris?
I think he might go bigger.
Oh yeah.
No, I was thinking kind of half, 7 to 8.
Sucks being out of
Oh man, yeah.
position.
See, this is rough when you got tens here because like you just there's so many bad, and then
Yeah.
yeah, they just can't withstand it.
Yeah. I like it. I think they both played it
Yep, yep,
properly
yep.
there.
I agree.
That's sometimes that's how it goes. You don't want to let that river. I don't think either player wanted to see another river in case it wasn't a diamond or it was. It's a value bet from Eric and does get called with ace high here.
Hmm.
And there's the check, and then this will go check, check.
I think it probably will.
Be neat for Rob to put a bet out here and rep
Yeah,
that seven. But Eric wanted to get that ace to showdown. He wanted to charge a small amount of money against the range to do
yeah.
it. Got a value
That's
bet
one of those
called off the
interesting
flop.
spots where you can find a pretty, like most of the time on rivers, when you're out of position like that, you can find a really small bet in those
Yeah,
spots and put hands like that in some jail.
yeah.
They often find a call, but you don't really mind it, and so, then often they fold to you too. So this is another interesting one.
uh, for what it's worth, Chris, Phil says that us two idiots are two of his favorite people.
Yeah, yeah, I feel the love.
That's such a nice way to say that. Thank you, Phil, I guess. Uh, Getting a little chunky, chunky
Hmm.
sizing there. Picks it up. And again, we're back to about even. Oh, I
Yeah,
guess
but
Rob actually has a
Rob takes the lead there.
bit of a lead here.
Rob may just fold this. Yep.
Yep. I think we'll see the open here. And then this is just another one of those bad hands, but Jack High is right in that cusp. Yeah, okay, he finds
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Probably, I think anytime you have a face card heads up, it's probably, but Rob is going a little bigger,
It's true.
so it might make you fold a little bit more.
Yep. It's not only a function of your direct equity with the pot size, but also it's a bigger pot that you're now playing out of position against an uncapped range.
Right.
You know, it's not a great investment. Love the three bet here from Eric. Let's see. Probably get a call here from Rob. They're sticking with this 2.2 sizing.
People lobbying in the chat, Dan Kennedy lobbying for Player of the Week.
Ooh,
Um,
coveted.
I mean, we all know that Taylor won it just
I
just
remember
a few weeks ago.
famously,
Famously
famously.
won it after
Yeah.
his 6 for 6 at Canterbury Park.
So impressive.
And
I'm so glad
it's really
Phil.
hard to believe that Phil would award his named enemy
I
as a
I
player, the
was
Rec.Poker Player of the Week. But sometimes he's just a little bit bigger than you think he
sometimes,
is. Yeah.
sometimes apparently, yeah, got that heart of gold.
Yeah. Heart of gold. All
I
right.
like the bet. So go
Yeah,
take
we
it,
got a
Chris.
bet and
This
a
is
raise
fun.
here, and just take it down.
Yeah. That's true. Phil points out anyone can be nominated as player of the week. It is an open nomination process.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's all available to you at the free Rec Poker online community at Circle. Just go to rec.poker and sign up for free. And you can also be made fun of by MSPT trophy winner Phil Rader. All right, I like the larger bet here with a lot of draw equity only. Rob seizes himself and says, "No way, man. I'm
Yep.
not folding third pair." Hmm.
And finds a call there.
Yeah.
Nice. Nicely done. Nicely sniffed out.
I
Dan
think
Kennedy asks, is 6 for 6 or 0 for 4 more impressive? They're both impressive in their own right. Uh they both have ways of impressing us.
that's true. That is all correct. Chris, I noticed Eric's kind of sized down a little on the river there. To people that are reading hands, I find that that can really sort of create a sense that they're going for value. Like it's actually like a second level bluff
Right.
sizing. Do you find that that's effective? Is that something that's on?
Yeah, I think it can be right against the right opponent, right? You
Yeah,
you really have to this is where that the art of betting becomes so intricate because it's all about how is my opponent going to receive this and what am I trying to accomplish with it?
yep. All right. Well,
Another ace high holding here.
out
Um,
of position, tougher.
right, it is much tougher. And probably he's just hoping that his ace is good here. Now, this is a spot where I think Rob might have missed a bet here because
Yep.
like we've got 7 high and I don't know. I think we
It's
might
the
have,
old, it's your only way to win the hand.
yeah.
Yeah. Eric Anderson in the chat. Hey, Eric, welcome, buddy. Long time. And Benny the Jet asking if people have seen 2 months, 2 million. That's all he thinks about when he thinks of heads up poker.
I don't know that.
I don't know it either. Free says for a mainstream show about poker, he found it to be pretty accurate.
Huh.
He knows the stuff.
A
Benny's got his finger on the pulse.
mainstream show about poker.
Yeah.
2 months, 2 million. Don't know it.
Okay. Hey Benny, maybe post a link to that somewhere over in the Rec Poker forums. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of appetite for good, actually interesting poker coverage
Yeah. While
or
we're here,
conceptual
go
poker.
to our community and post something fun. And
Hmm.
smash that like button right here while you're here.
That would be great. It feels weird asking for it, but please do. Where is it? Here? Do
I don't
please
know.
click it.
It's
It's down here somewhere.
somewhere there. I'll just point
Shameless.
everywhere.
Shameless. That like that button there.
All right. Binkley has a second pair here.
Yep. He's betting.
And he finds the delayed bet here, and Rob calls
Rob,
with
I
the two
love it.
overs.
I love it. And Queen High just saying, bet again, Eric. Bet again. But he doesn't. So both these players are very uh tough. Like they're not giving up equity in these hands. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel like they're over folding. They're taking some good selective pre-flop folds with from some of the absolute worst hands that are in the deck, but they're not. They're being sort of resistant to small sizings. They're holding their ground.
Yeah, and
What's
we've seen
the
some interesting raises from both of them, both pre and post flop. There's been some nice creative play with this match so far. Well,
Okay.
This could lose Rob some chips,
Yeah.
depending on the run out here.
Mm.
I'm
Now, Rob might still check here. Um, okay, I like a bet here from Rob anyway, honestly.
mhm.
And at this point, I think Eric has to raise, right? There's just too
Yeah,
much
after we
behind.
check back, I don't love the check on the flop. I know we flopped the world, but this is a board that can have a lot of interesting gutters. It can have a lot of 6x. It can have a lot of like, we've seen people in heads up matches, they're calling with two overs, right? So
Right.
like there's just possibilities here. No, he does find some value on the river in the end. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Chooses the more polarizing sizing, going full pot. And he's definitely going to have a lot of as many bluffs there as anybody in that spot. So Rob does call, but I think he could have. I think he could have won more. He
I
could have
think so
won
too.
more if
I
he.
think a little small bet on that flop is really nice.
And Rob's going to know that you're betting. You've been, and both players have been betting pretty
Right,
frequently on
right.
those chicken boards like that. So,
I've
um,
just tried to get away, especially in really wide range spots. I've been tried to get away from always trapping my monsters because I just think you tend to lose out on
yeah,
value when you do that too much.
yep. Although Mrs. Bluffsterini did not get her quad aces to showdown for the high hand in the charity tournament the other week because she made a small bet on the flop and everybody folded. So
Well,
you never know.
can't you just show it?
No, they required showdown.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a little salty about that.
No, sorry.
But I'm with you. I think on the turn, the raise there.
Yeah,
But like, I don't know. Would he have called a raise to eight big blinds, which he then did extract on the river?
right, right.
Hard to say. I tend to, when Eric and I disagree, I usually go Eric's way. I've only ever beat him by bad beating him. Uh,
Well, it's well played then.
it's my only super talent, my only
Yeah, you just hit
superpower.
sets, right,
I
against
just flop a
people.
ton of sets. I just
Yeah,
flop a
I
ton
mean
of
that's
sets.
that's. I mean, if you're gonna have a superpower,
Yeah, it's a
I'll
pretty good
I'll
one.
take it. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Lots of fun stuff going on in the YouTube chat. I love it when our members come and get active and spicy up in there. Oh, damn. Yeah. All right, we'll let you guys have your fun. Okay, a couple garbage hands, advantage position. Ooh, until now, Binkley doesn't know it, but he's
Yeah.
certainly holding the nuts. Rob continues telling the story here. I
I thought he'd
guess the
call. I thought
fold.
he'd call the turn. Just see if he could
Make
get it
him
to show
fire
him.
the
Make him fire the river.
yeah. I think these players have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's true. It's actually two of our only bi-weekly sessions were hosted by these guys,
yeah.
Chris's book study and Eric's Peel. A lot of our other coaches do a sort of one a month session, but these guys just love the freaking game. They love the game, Chris. They can't get enough of it. All right, they've both hit a piece of this as long as the river's not a three.
This might slow it down with the spade. We'll see. I think I still like a bet when we've got top pair in heads up action. Flushes are just become rarer
Yep,
because our ranges are so wide. So yeah, I like this bet. This is
yep,
a bet a lot of people will miss, so I like it.
yep. Cash game players, they're always looking for that extra value, right? Because you're
Mm,
used to playing deeper. So
hmm
it's more about extracting as much as you can. See if we get the almighty three bet here from Eric. No, he
No,
decides to slow play the pre-flop
no.
nuts.
Yeah, he's still playing his monsters, so we've learned that already.
That's consistent. He's not folding here. He knows this is on TV, and we're all watching how he plays pocket fives.
See, and look what
Pick up,
happens.
pick up a gut shot.
Four.
Ooh, right. Well, he's got the best hand. Rob has Jack high, but that's actually not bad, honestly, on this board. He could rep the ace and try and get a fold from a pair.
Goes big.
Goes big, and I don't think he checks back many kings on the turn. So I think that does weaken his range at this point.
He can have aces.
He
Like
can have some aces that he
aces
would
make
have checked
sense.
back.
Um, so that's I think what Binkley's thinking about here.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think if he doesn't have an ace, I think Binkley thinks he's good, but he does find the fold.
makes discipline fold. And I think if that was a smaller bet, he calls.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so
Yeah, it's a nice sizing.
yeah, the sizing is really on point. Rob's picked that 2x sizing now, the effective big blind's down to 36. Well, these guys going at it with rags. Both flop a piece, but that king can't feel great.
Does come along, picks up quite a bit of
Mm-hmm.
interesting equity here. Um, if Binkley finds a bet, I don't know if Rob can fold this now.
Do you I love it. I
Ah,
love it. I'm sorry you took the words right out of my mouth. Rob Washam, I love it.
yep. It's a nice raise. When we've got bottom pair plus all that equity, it's like the seven may be good, but probably isn't. But I think a lot of players' instinct is like, well, I've got a pair, so let's just see the river. But it's a nice raising spot.
Yeah, I think he was demoting that pair to let's add to oh, I guess I don't know. It makes me think of like the defining quality of your hand. Sometimes I
Mm,
think of like if I'm trying to get a pair to showdown, and like the pair is the defining quality of my hand. But sometimes it's just, oh boy, this is gonna get all right, good. Um, you want to kind of shift that over to the draw portion of it. I don't
hmm
know. It sounds crazy the way I'm saying it right now, but um, I like to kind of use that. I guess maybe I'm doing the cardinal rule that we talked about before, where I'm turning a made hand into a bluff when I should not be.
mm
But
hmm
I do
But I
like
think that
using that
I
pair
think
as a
you're
buffer.
rightly can think of like so Eric has bet twice in that spot. So R7 now he can have there's a few things R7 beats, right? Like I think there were two diamonds on that board. So I like he can have some draws as well that we're ahead of. So it's not something we want to pull out of our head. But if we're going to find um raises with a pair in that spot, that's the perfect hand, right? It's
Yeah,
like the seven with the open ender is like the of all the pair candidates, it's got to be the best bluff.
yeah, I like it.
All right, we got an interesting spot here.
Rob could just shove
Yeah,
here.
he could rip
28,
this.
28
We'll
deep.
see. I think he'll
Call for five more. It would
he's
leave
in
20
position.
behind. Yeah,
He
but
does just throw it in.
it's just such a hard hand to play,
Yep.
even in position,
Yep.
well more than half the time there's overcards on the board, and um, I don't know. Is there a,
Yeah. And
it's
heads up, I mean
still 20,
it
it's almost 30 big, so you don't want to
yeah, it's a
just
it's a big shove, but I think it makes sense. Hmm.
I think if we get a check from Rob here, we'll get a bet from Eric, but I think we'll actually get a bet from Rob. Yep, and we do.
Binkley needs to find some heat here if he's
Yep,
gonna catch up. Rob's really amassing quite a stack here.
it's true. We've got a Somsky ratio extending significantly from our earlier levels.
And when we get to this point, this is the starting to be the point where Binkley can start playing a little bit, a little bit differently when we're in these kind of spots. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
This could
He
be
is
trouble.
going very small. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. Could Rob simply call? No, okay. I was going to say I don't care how small the
Ha.
small.
He doesn't put him all in.
Yeah, right. Yep,
Yeah. I don't think
that's tricky. That's a tricky one. I like the sizing from Rob,
Yeah, that's an interesting sizing.
and we'll get the
I think
shove
I
from.
think I just put that all in there, but maybe I get called less.
Here we go. Eric 3Xing off a short stack looks incredibly strong.
It does. This is when it's so frustrating when you're so short and you get hands like this and you're just losing like 20% of your stack. Just, I mean,
Yeah, this is
he can't.
particularly gross.
Oh no.
Well, I think he's just planning to stack off on any two or
I
seven.
mean, now I mean, he's already put in so much. He's got
He had a plan. I think he had a
yeah,
plan there. But it's not like full ring where you can just do that and then get eight more free hands.
right.
You're gonna be back right back in it again on this next spot.
Yep.
Tricky, tricky. Oh, and then you get a
Oh
walk.
man, he doesn't
God,
even.
that hurts. Don't do it, Eric. He's got an ace. Don't do it. Oh no. All right, I think
He's got
Rob's
a
got.
dominating ace too.
Oh
It's like,
yeah,
oh,
no
and he has to have
kidding.
a two as well.
Oh, how? Oh, just to
Yeah.
make it more
Here's another
painful.
two.
Give him
Here's
the two.
oh, there's another
Oh,
two.
what? Oh, well,
Just
Eric, that just wasn't meant to be, man. For
no.
whatever it's worth, that's brutal. Rob
Yeah,
washed him.
GG, Binkley, and really good game, Rob. Well played by both of you. I think that was a fun match to watch.
Yeah, I thought those two really went after each other. They used really interesting sizings. They put each other in some really uncomfortable positions, and we got to see both players kind of having a couple different tactics on how to play post flop and really getting after it pre-flop. So
Yeah.
kudos again. There are no soft seats in this tournament. Someone
Nope.
really good at poker is going to win, and someone really good at poker is going to lose. So
Agreed.
congratulations to Rob Washington. Keep his hat in the ring here. Who have we got next? It's Dan Kennedy versus Kim Kilroy.
Hmm.
Wow.
This is
So,
a matchup.
I mean, is there a player in our group that has more positive momentum than Dan Kennedy over the last year or
I
two?
mean,
Like,
yeah, it's pretty amazing, right? He's just he shows up everywhere. He just has massive stacks everywhere. He's winning all sorts of stuff. Yeah. He's even a nice guy. I mean, what is going on? How is that possible?
it's true. I'm glad we threw that ambassador patch on him earlier. He's been really, and he's like, it's a great story. He was very disciplined about his bankroll, built it up to a spot where he could start taking some shots, did well in those shots. And he's been playing a lot of live tournaments. So I think he's definitely got some volume on his side recently
Yeah.
and some great poker instincts too. Now, Kim, who's been one of our coaches for a
Yeah.
long time, one of the more studied and experienced players that I have in my social circle.
Just an
Uh,
absolute elite player.
yeah, yeah.
And all that said about Dan Kennedy, Kim Kilroy was my pick to win this whole thing. So
Oh,
I'm sticking with that and I'm sticking with her.
yep. I'm actually I love you, Dan. I'm picking Kim too. I've played with her. I've coached with her. She's just such a technician. She knows all the ranges. She knows all the sizes. Dan's gonna have to win simply through chutzpah. I think he's gonna have to bring sort of go down some undiscovered branches of the decision tree, use some uncomfortable sizes to put Kim in some unpredictable spots. It's going to be a great match. I think Kim has a slight edge. Let's see how it goes. Both starting with aces, that helps.
Yeah, it does. Helps you better when you have the dominating ace.
I expect we'll
There's a,
see a three bet from Kim here in the first hand for these. I should give a shout out to Poker Now, this fantastic platform that these players are playing on. It's a great way to hang out and play with your friends. Now, second pair, top kicker, but that
that monotone
monotone
board.
board might slow
Monotone
things down a
boards
little bit.
are so interesting. And heads up,
Hmm.
I think they're I I was just gonna say I like a really small bet here, and I like that a lot.
Oh, wow.
This probably goes check, check.
And Dan's got some sneaky range advantage in a way now when Kim does check, because she also posted that that was a misclick.
Yeah, yeah,
So, so I find when someone misclicks like that, for some reason, it always seems to like cap their range, even if it's only internally.
yeah. You can sort of see when it happens. I'm admiring the or looking at the emojis here. With Dan Kennedy's is very threatening here
It's
with
true.
it's this knife.
And he's not buying any of that misclick yabber jabber either.
No. I mean, when somebody has a shark emoji, you gotta pay attention to everything
That's
they
right.
do.
That's right. Give him credit. So Kim picking up a ton of equity here, and the Dan does check back with ace queen. Let's see what happens on the turn. It's a weird spot where again you've got ace high, which again is a lot of actual showdown equity,
Hmm.
but you do have the advantage of the flush draw.
This is always the spot where I don't when we've got the front door spades, it's what we want our opponent to have. So it's like a tough hand to bluff with. And we've got the showdown value with the ace, but it's rarely ever good after we're called. I never know what to do with that hand.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
such a hard hand to play when it runs out that way.
Yeah, and that's a hard one to to see coming in a way. You just
Hmm.
don't think of well, you only have so much time in every hand. You're not always thinking about like, oh, what happens if we get three of a kind on the board or
Right,
something
right.
like that. It does kind of change the flow of your natural sizing and action. So Dan jumping out to an early lead thanks to that one big pot, but otherwise they're mostly just kind of trading them back and forth here
And
so
they've
far.
it's interesting, they've both employed some pre-flop limping. And I don't I guess there's some conversation about maybe misclicking and such. So maybe that's not intentional, but if it is, it's interesting that they both started out with a limping strategy um to start this off.
And here they've both made bottom pair and a piece of some draw equity. Dan fires away. And I know we're not going to get a fold from Kim.
No.
I will say if you want to be like our friends here and play on Poker Now, it's a free platform. It's great. We
Hmm.
use it for a lot of our training material, and you can even turn on a camera and a mic and play with your friends for the first 30 minutes without having a paid account. So do check that out. The one thing is the betting interface can take just a little getting used to. So you might
Yes.
see at the very beginning of our matches a couple of the players who aren't as familiar with the platform, maybe
Yeah,
misclicking a little or
it's like they put the buttons in just the sort of I can't even remember what it's like, but it's like the wrong
it's like
order.
yeah, you have to like enter the amount. You have to like click bet first or I don't know. It's been
Yeah.
but
It's just a little bit odd. Once you get the
other,
hang of it, you do fine.
other than that small learning curve, truly a phenomenal platform, and I'm really glad that Samuel is still offering this. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do this really without it. It's so nice.
Yeah. So here we go.
Interesting.
Now we're getting a little saucy.
I'm really curious to see what Kim does with this, with the ace of spades.
Now here's that three
Um,
by three that we were talking
yeah,
about from Dan. Yeah, and so she does call. Dan goes a little over half pot to continue the story. Now that 10 of hearts does not, it's neither of the threes. It doesn't
right,
actually help,
right. Yep.
but
No, I don't
let's,
think she can really continue, and that's a really nice bet by Dan there, because like it's tough to continue once somebody calls you check raise. It's like, oh, I guess I
yeah.
guess the gig is up when it was my gut shot, but it's a nice follow through there.
Now we could get a three bet from Kim here. Little does she know, Dan does have pocket jacks, but she does smooth call. And this should go check bet. Let's see what kind of sizing Dan uses. Oh, gets a little
Hmm.
trappy. Great turn for Dan's hand.
Yes,
I'm
really
sure we'll
great.
see a bet from Dan here. Goes about half pot. Kim's probably calling. That flop check was pretty weak, and she does have ace high. She does make the call.
Yeah. Yep.
And should check again here for plans to get to showdown. Now let's see. Like to see another bet from Dan. Goes about half pot again. I don't know. I never know how to decide in spots like this. Do you have to say, well, if you didn't have it on the turn, you didn't have it on the river? Is it size dependent?
Yeah.
She's considering a lot of factors. It does correctly fold
Time to
ace high.
fold. I think it's a good fold. I think the ace of spades you don't want to be having there
Mm,
when you're calling there.
I love that. Probably see an open here from Kim. And Dan's not folding no king high. They both get a piece, but
Both get a piece. Yeah.
with an overcard,
Kim will probably stab at this, I think. Yeah.
a little over half pot. Dan quickly calls, turns a bit of a brick. That might slow Kim down. There's some straight draws, there's some flush draws coming here that she'd love to get value from. She does go pretty large.
Yeah.
Gets Dan to fold the
Yeah.
king.
It's tough. She has such the when you have those ace king X boards, um, you get a lot of free reign to just kind of blast as the in position player.
And as the pre-flop raiser too.
It's a pre-flop laser and in
Yeah.
position player. It just um we just
It's
have a
a
lot of the aces and the kings and the ace kings of the world, and they
and
don't.
that's just a part of the mechanics of poker, honestly.
Hmm.
There's no way for that not to be the case.
Right.
It's like money flows right to left at the poker table. It's just a reality of the game.
Hmm.
So interesting spot here. 6, 7, 8, 9 for Kim. She does call. It does not come in. Let's see what she does. That four doesn't help anybody. If she checks here, I think we'll see another value bet from Dan.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I love the big
Ha.
sizing here from
Ah.
Kim. It's too bad he's got top pair, but like that's how you get some folds from some of these other spots. I don't think the four quite tells the right story on that, but I don't know. Let's
Yeah, I
see.
don't think Dan will fold
He
this.
does
Yeah.
come in.
But it's
But
the right idea.
yeah, and he has a lot of hands there that are worse than top pair. I love
Yep.
the attempt from Kim, and she's not afraid to go for a sizing that actually generates those folds. Some
Yep.
players, even when
Yep.
they find a chance to take that spot, they go so small because they don't want to lose more chips. But trust me, that larger sizing gets folded at a much higher frequency. I love that play by Kim. So it does bring in the Somsky ratio to approaching three,
Yep.
which still is not really a desperate situation.
No.
Taylor's got this
Lots of
set up
room
with
for.
yeah, deeper stacks, and it's not time to get desperate yet. Still over
Think
30
we'll
big
see.
blinds
Whoa.
effective.
All right.
Okay, well, Dan takes a limping line, and Kim
I was gonna
says,
say, I think we'll see a raise here. I didn't think we'd see 33 big blinds, but interesting.
and now we have a limp from Kim. What's Dan gonna do? He's got the worst hand in all of poker. He does raise. And I think
Hmm.
Kim might just let this go. If you have a folding range, 5-3 offsuit would be close to it.
Yeah,
Does. Speaking of hands that you might have in a folding range,
they're
who
both
wants it
folding.
more? Dan, technically a stronger hand. He is
Dominating
betting,
both sides of the cards. There we
betting with
go.
the lead.
Takes
Does
it
take
down
him.
with the
Yep.
best hand.
And here we go again. Now Kim has a chance. Little does she know, she's got him dominated. Put some chips in, Kim. Hmm. I'm curious about this limping strategy, Chris. I know you've been a proponent of like limping the small blind before many. What do you use as a factor to sort of decide when to start doing it? Is it stack depth? Is it structure? Is
For
it
me,
player
it's
dependent?
stack depth. And now Kim is, an exceptionally well-studied player and probably knows this stuff down. So probably knows it even better than I do. So I trust that she's doing this with a lot of knowledge behind it. But my thought on this is that I would want to be shallower
Hmm.
before I start. I like kind of into that 20 big blind range.
Yep.
Um, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's something I'm really interested in studying more. Several of my coaching clients, come up through the Rec.Poker membership, and they have limping habits, and they want to limp, and they want to like limp and make hands, and some of them find the cold turkey approach not as effective. I'd like to like give them some permission to limp in a certain set of circumstances. And all I've kind of come up with is like short stacked in late position, but I don't know that
Well,
that's
and honestly, like the thing that's sort of interesting about limping is like in this dynamic, you get the limp and you have position
yes.
always.
Yes.
And so heads up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
This
oh
is
boy.
second pair versus a three bet set. So yeah, I love the small sizing here. I don't think Kim's gonna get away from one bet.
Oh, oh,
Wow. Well, I want to hear more about this limping stuff later, Chris, but I think this is likely to be
yeah, I
the
think we might
hand of the
be
night for
might
this match. It's gonna be,
huh.
I mean, Kim has to value bet here, I think. If you go, you can go pretty small here and still
You
have a very
can,
shovable stack on the river. You
right.
don't need to get, yeah, I really like this. It's almost like a trivial call on the river. And I don't think there's any way. Okay, I love that. Oh my
Ah,
God.
ah.
What? What?
Oh man.
Okay. Well,
Well,
it is a trivial. I mean, it's what this uh boy.
it
It's a great game
is
we play, isn't it, Chris?
it's nice to run well.
That is
Runner,
phenomenal.
runner,
Runner,
two.
the first
Yeah.
runner is enough to get her in trouble. The second
Yeah.
runner's like,
Saves the
wow.
day.
Really did. Really did. Daniel's got to be
That's a
shaken
tough
off.
loss. That's a
That's
tough beat.
that's a toe stubber
I mean,
right
and
there.
there's no way. I don't think once that second queen comes, like even if he shoves that turn, I mean, he's not getting her off of it.
No,
So,
no, double suited.
he's just losing that every time.
Is zero control over that outcome at that point. Wow. And just like that, a small lead to Kim's position here. She's got
Yeah.
a few more chips than Dan, but it is very, very
Yeah,
close.
that was. I mean, that jack was. really a savior there because it was my pick to win it all was on the ropes there.
I had a little feeling, honestly. I was like, well, there is still the river.
There is always still the river, right?
That pesky river. Oh, interesting. I thought maybe there's a bluff spot on the river there for Kim.
Mm.
Um, I don't think her fives are good there very frequently. It's not like she started with a pair of them, Chris. Don't hear something I'm not saying.
I don't know. I hear you. I hear you. You can fold 1-5.
Yeah, 1-5.
That's
It's just one
fine.
five. All right. So Kim gets the flush draw. Dan checks back and gets just enough of this to maybe get into some trouble.
Yep.
Do you like a bet from Kim here? You really don't want to see another card when you have this low seven high flush.
Yeah, I like the bet. And I think it is probably just enough to get Dan. Oh. I was gonna say
Oh,
into trouble, but I was thinking through a call.
so this
Um,
feels like a bluff, turning it into a bluff here. Again, he's kind of prioritizing that five of hearts, although little does he know.
mhm. Now that is a scary card for Kim too. Like
It's
you know,
true.
we can see that she's got the best hand, but that is not the card she wanted to see on the river.
And it goes check, check, and the seven high flush wins. I don't. Yes, she knows it. Bad river, she says. Slowed it down.
Mm-hmm.
It's another one of those spots where Dan's kind of yes. These two are having some fun with each other in the
Yeah.
chat as well. I love to see
She
it.
said Bad River, and I didn't see the whole thing of what he said, but he said that's what I thought about the boat the
Oh, the
boat in hand.
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, the full house. Oh man. Oh yeah, Richard Deakins in the chat says, "Yeah, Dan won the bad beat jackpot."
Yeah. He did.
That's
He
right.
did.
Uh, wow. All right,
That's
so we'll
such a
see.
gross way to win when you turn a full house and you're
Yeah,
like, ugh,
no, it doesn't feel right.
this game is mean sometimes.
Rude, rude game. We'll see if Dan tries to get this king to showdown like we were talking about earlier. He does have backdoor straight draw, and I think that's what he's thinking about here with this bet. You can build a pot in case
Hmm.
it comes in, and you can build a pot to take away if it doesn't.
Yep. And you can represent that ace pretty well. Um, it gets tricky with this with these stacks though, because like if he starts barreling like this, you can lose a lot of your stack with this, but I think
Yeah,
this is gonna work.
yeah.
We'll see. I like it. If he's gonna do it, I like his sizing here. I think we need to attack a lot of things that aren't the aces there.
Oh my God, speaking of the aces,
Yeah, I see the aces there.
yikes. Let's see. I don't think Kim's going anywhere.
You think she might stick around for one big blind?
Safe enough board. I wonder if we were going to get a call, but she does go for the small raise. And I think, oh, Dan makes a very disciplined fold there with bottom pair. He just knew. Soul read.
Yeah.
Eric Jin being very gracious in the chat and congratulating Rob Washam, the victor of their previous match. As ever, Eric bringing classing this place up a little.
He does class the place up, doesn't
He
he?
does. He does. If you're joining his study group, his coaching session on Thursday this week, ask him the story about the hoodie he's wearing in the photo that makes up the feature image for the
Oh,
event. He'll tell you a
oh,
fun story about
I don't know that story.
the night that he got that hoodie.
Okay.
It's not my story to tell, otherwise I'd share it with all of you. Okay, got a lot of equity here from Kim. She does put out some
Yep.
the semi
Puts out
bluff
the
and
bet.
Gets the fold. Now Dan's in here limping. And I wonder if Kim will isolate here or use this as one of those hands where you're just dominating your opponent's limping range. She
Mm,
does, but it works out to Dan's advantage.
does.
And he makes a small bet with middle pair. It's a very dynamic board. I wonder if yeah, Kim actually does find a fold there. I
Mm,
think she just feels like it's going to be expensive to get this ace to
right,
showdown given
right.
this board texture, and Dan is someone who will push those edges. Ooh,
Mm.
right.
Now, does Kim value bet this? I'll be curious to see. She
He
does.
does, yeah,
I
three
like it.
quarters pot.
I really like it.
Yeah. I think both these players have had the same realization that you were talking about earlier, where there's just so many offsuit hands
Yep.
in in these players' ranges that it's actually very, very unlikely that either one of them makes a flush. So Dan checks back top pair there, doesn't need as much protection. And I don't know. I feel like I'm bluffing at that board so frequently that I also want to be value betting.
Yeah, I think I want to bet that um with some frequency. Especially, yeah, I think I want to bet that, especially against a player who I think like Kim, who's going to, not just look for a jack or a 10 to call there. Like she's going to
Right.
have some other holdings that are going to find calls there.
Yeah, some queen eights and stuff like that would be
Yeah.
some good value targets. So now we've got a 3x isolation with two hands that could intersect interestingly if we get them
Hmm.
to a board, but Kim does
Just
take the limp
fold.
fold. Yeah. Now,
And they're
given
kind of
the
adjusting to each other's limping a little. Like there's been few more raises in there. Um, some different approaches to playing against the limping strategies.
and Chris, when you're at this stack depth, effective 30 bigs, when one player does limp, is there a sizing that you kind of default to for your isolations there?
In
And what
terms
are
of
the
a
factors?
raise,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I probably like to go a little bit bigger than what because we're always out of position. I think I want to go a little bit bigger than three. Um, so I'm probably going 3.5 to four, probably four
Yep. And then going down to three as you get shorter,
as I get
shorter
shorter.
stacked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think at this stack depth we can go a little bit bigger.
See the three bet
Give a-
from Dan with these players using a lot of ace X hands for those three bets pre-flop. I think Kim can call here, and she does.
Hmm.
We'll see a small bet from Dan. Yep. Maybe this is a give up.
Yeah, I think this is
Kim.
probably a give up. There's really no
Yeah.
interaction.
Backdoor
She's got two
straight.
unders to
Yeah.
the queen. So your pairs, you don't know where you're at. You got a backdoor straight draw, but it just feels like a kind of a gross spot.
And it's always, oh, and there's that 4x. I guess what
Yep.
the effective stack is up to 40 now. They've really equalized, so you can see Kim taking that slightly larger sizing. Now I wonder if they'll continue to limp here at this larger effective stack.
Mm. Nope.
All right, now Dan just looking for a chance to eject from this hand.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he doesn't. the only thing is like a king is a gross spot because
Yes.
you don't
Oh, did
oh.
you? How did you do that? How did you
But
do
like it's
that?
so as Dan, this is like sort of like this is a tough spot, right?
Yeah.
Um,
This has to be a bet. Yeah, okay, I love
yeah,
it. And you
yeah.
can always fold to a raise. I don't think you're gonna see one on this. Uh Kim
No.
would basically be turning her king into a yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, go get that value. Thin value, that's the key. Thin value. We talk a lot about sort of having a non-reciprocal edge in these games. And sort
Mm,
of if everyone's just trading chips around when they make good hands, the rake eats it up and no one really can
right,
be a winning player.
right.
Both players get a piece of this action. We'll see. Small check raise in the insta call. Um, so the art of poker is winning when you don't have the best hand,
Hmm.
and sort of
Hmm.
finding these ways where you're not just trading chips back and forth with the other player. What's your non-reciprocal edge? What is it that you're doing differently from the other players in the game that allow you to profit from it?
Yeah, I like that a lot. And when she makes a two pair, she goes fairly large.
He's got second pair. It's pretty coordinated. I like they've both been kind of I think they've both been picking that larger sizing with their bluffs and their values. So they're playing the right game with this, creating enough indecision in the other that they can't feel really confident about
Right.
either option.
He's giving it a hard noodle. Oh,
Yeah. And
and
look at Kim's stack size, right? Like
yeah,
it's such a scary proportion of what she has left. And she does. She does
yeah.
make the
I think
call.
if he gets her off a queen there, I
I think he
think,
does too.
but I don't think he can get her off two pair.
Yep. Valiant effort though, Dan. I love you going. And again, taking that one pair and turning it into a bluff like that. Can he get
Hmm.
a queen to fold? I think he could if it hadn't been queen four. Good point.
Yeah,
Big swing in
yeah.
chips for
That's a
Kim.
big pot. That's really took us from where we were at even to now Kim having a pretty commanding lead.
Hmm. But again, still 25 big blinds, and it's not time to get shovey and desperate just yet. Here we see another two hands that could cause a little fireworks if the board comes out right. It does not. Should see a small bet from Kim here.
I think so.
Yep. And Dan doesn't really have enough connection and not a deep enough stack to get that speculative. Now we'll see
Might
what
get a
size.
raise.
Yeah, definitely going to be isolating here. I doubt she goes to four with the smaller stack size. I'd expect to see more like three. Oh, yeah, why not? Why not? Just shove. That's a great point. We are getting short enough that those
Hmm.
shoves do. They always catch me by surprise. It's just like I still think of shoving in like the mid-teens and like the
Yeah,
high teens. Those
yeah,
20s and early 30s shoves are still like, how man, is that still okay? Just feels like memories of punting from the 2000s.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a different game, they tell me.
I was watching the main. I keep watching replays of the main, and
Of course you do. You
um,
psycho.
so Ike Haxton's in the cutoff, and he opens, and the button next to him, and he's got 100 big blinds, and the button with 50 big blinds three bets him small, and he with queens, it comes back to him, and he just rips it for 50 bigs. It's like, wow, that's a big race. But he's better than me. So
Oh
anyway,
man.
so Dan
Yeah.
here raises with the king six, and he is getting shallow enough where I think we can start to maybe lower our isolating size.
Not really the flop you're looking for, but you do get to rep that ace.
Yep.
The two plus the back door,
I think
probably
Kim
enough
has to
for
call
Kim to
once at
stick around.
least. Yeah.
Small bet. She is in position. She does. I
And now Dan has some showdown and he
I
decides,
I guess he's thinking that she has some aces there. I think he might have actually lost a value bet there.
yeah, yeah, I think you could bet that.
Now he doesn't want to
Um,
get raised off it.
right.
She can just shove and then he's in
Yep,
a
yep,
terrible position.
yep.
So he is valuing his tournament life. I can't complain about that.
No, yeah, I think it's okay to check there. And plus we have a weak king,
That's true.
so like we can have like she can have better kings there too.
Yeah, that stinks. Okay, he's got the insta call with 10-6 here, looking to see a flop. It's not a great flop for 10-6 off or
Nope,
10-6 suited, but
not a
not
great flop.
the
And a
worst.
even worse turn.
Yeah. Now Kim's actually ahead by a mile here, but this is a
Yes.
tricky and goes for that thin value. Okay, there you go. So you can, I do think that's when these players start taking the bet fold line instead of the check call line, that's a real sign of, them taking those edges and finding those thin value spots. I think that's
Yep.
a big
I agree.
evolution for a lot of
I
these
definitely
players.
agree that is a big evolution.
I'm still working on it personally, but I see it
Yeah,
in other people.
the that bet fold thing is that's a sign that somebody, can knows what they're doing in poker.
Yeah. And it really comes down to sort of visualizing the entirety of your opponent's range. No, I mean,
Hmm.
not perfectly, but thinking about the different parts of your
Right.
opponent's range and
Right.
understanding that different parts of it can respond differently. It's a neat trick. You can do it. Still plenty of play here. 23 big blinds effective.
Hmm.
Dan does get second pair here. And if Kim checks, I think we'll see a bet. Yeah.
Tiny bet.
Small enough to get called. Probably get another check from Kim, and it wouldn't surprise me if she gives up here. Oh, the over bet
A little
from
bit of an
Dan.
overbet. Okay.
Yeah. No hearts, no spades, he says. I don't want to see him. Somsky ratio is back at 2. Hmm. And then, Dan's been kind of hovering in this 20 to 25 big blind range. But while that's happened, the blinds have gone up, and Kim's gone from having 60 to having a
Yep.
45. And so Dan's actually gaining ground even just by standing still in the big blind stack.
It's a nice bet there. Gets him off of a lot of holdings there, including the one he had.
Oh my. Well, this is the kind of spot that you hope for. Dan has second pair. Do you think Kim strings him along with a call here or goes for a small raise? A lot of draw, a lot of
Yeah,
draws here.
I think this is a raising spot.
Yep. Unluckily, Dan doesn't have anything, but I'm with you. Lots of ways for Dan to have just enough of that to come along for a few chips more, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
that stack behind isn't looking as big as it used to. Kim limping with 100% of range, as we've described here.
And hits the eject, wisely hits the eject seat there.
That's right. Could somehow sense that she was behind. All right, a pretty hand for Kim pre-flop. Dan does flop second pair and value bets. Hmm. Kim really just has king high here. Dan, I wonder if he'll go a little bigger on the turn. He does, about three-quarter pot. Kim says, see you later.
He's found some nice barrels like that with second pair.
Mm-hmm. Thin value, baby. That's what we're saying.
Just ripping it in.
Yep.
Pocket threes.
There's that equity.
I like that.
Mm-mm.
This one could be trouble a little. I
Yeah,
mean, I think Kim probably just calls this, but
yeah, this is the same stack depth where she was ripping earlier. So I don't know. She does. She
oh,
goes
she
for
does
it.
rip it in.
And I think Dan's calling.
Wow.
Let's
This
see
could
how it goes.
really
No, she
turn
has
this
no
match
fear. Like she's
around.
just really not afraid. Like these PFFs, they love to just press that equity. Let's see. Really needs a seven. Okay.
All
Well,
right.
Dan
That's
gets the
gonna that's
crucial
gonna
double up.
shift this match back into the hands of Daniel Kennedy.
That's right. Again, got the Somsky ratio a little less than two, but no time to panic, as we say.
It's been a
Kim and
pretty
I,
epic matchup so far. I mean, it's
no
been back and
kidding.
forth and
A lot of
taking the
that.
lead and
Big hands. You love to
big
see it.
hands, suckouts, all kinds of.
Kim and I were playing in a satellite for an Irish Poker Open package, which she okay, bad beat
Ah,
story incoming.
let's go. Let's
She,
hear it.
she and this other wonderful fellow in the group, they tied for first place after 6 weeks. They tied for first place with 76 points, and I was in third place with 75 points, and it paid two people. I bubbled by 1 point. Oh God.
How do you earn a point?
By rank of the previous 6 weeks of play.
Oh,
So it was very, very close. Anyway, so Kim and this other fella ended up having to play a heads up like shootout to see who was going to take the first place prize because they were tied. And I think she said at one point, I watched most of it and then I had to leave. I think I saw her lose 9 flips before
ugh.
I left, where she was just like grinding them down, grinding them, grinding them down, grinding them down, lose a flip, grinding them down like many, many times. It was gross.
So she did not win.
She actually won the second one or something. It was like a best
Okay.
2 out of 3 or something like that. But I
Wow.
was like, that was brutal. Oh, or no, was I was witnessing the end of the seventh one, the end of the sixth one. So it's like she could have won her way without not even have a shootout. But anyway, it was pretty exciting. And like a knife between the ribs, I'm sure for Kim.
All right, we get a raise here. You got raise fold. And
Still seeing a lot of those limps. We're back to 30 big blinds effective.
yeah.
And that shove, Kim says, I want more.
Yep.
Bring it. I know what the math says Kim Kilroy. Can't get me to fold my equity pre-flop, and she's right. Couple of
Two
garbage
power
hands here.
power packed
Yes.
holdings.
Kim finds a nest for hers.
She might raise this too. We'll see. Nope.
Now, Chris, when you're looking for hands to limp, and I hear people say that, instead of just having an open raising range, they want to have a limping range in order to play more hands.
Hmm.
And that sort of makes sense to me intuitively that you can play some hands at a limp that you couldn't profitably play as a raise. So what you really have to do is just play some other hands at a limp that don't make your limping range so
Right.
exploitable.
Right.
Um, when you're at this stack depth or maybe getting a little shorter towards the start of your limping range, what are the qualities of the hands that you want to have in a limping range, and what are some of the qualities of the hands that you'd rather have as an open raising part of your range?
I think you want to look at, see, one of the things that you think about when you think about opening ranges most situations, unheads up situations, is you want to have hands that are right at the bottom of your opponent's opening range. Those are the ones that
Mm.
are really attractive to be both raises, potentially limp raises, like the ones that, like if they're all opening their offsuit sixes and not their offsuit fives, well, the 5x region becomes really attractive. In heads up play, it's a lot more complicated. Now it's like because people are opening and playing 95% of their hands or 90% of their hands. It's like there is no bottom really there. So it becomes a lot more complicated. And I think you have to have the reason I don't like limping very much in these spots is because you have to have such an intricate mixed
Hmm.
strategy that I'm just forsaking it for the sake of simplicity.
Yeah, and applicability and like the
Yeah,
ability to just have a functioning strategy in real time. So we get a three bet and a continuation bet from Dan here with two overs. Kim has flop top pair and an
top pair
open-end
and
straight
an open
draw.
ender.
And that five doesn't really suit Dan's range as much as the three better.
Nope.
So I'm curious to see what he'll do here. He does go for it. And that
I,
is,
that's chunky.
it's chunky. Yeah,
I was just
that'll,
gonna say I don't think it's getting through.
and Kim had top pair until the river. How many sad stories have ended that
So
way?
she takes the lead back. This is just back and forth and back and forth. Really, really well played on both sides.
Hmm.
Nobody wanting to really get too exposed. When we've seen the bottom chip go in, it's either been a
Yes.
really big shove or um, these spots there where there's a lot of equity in play.
Hmm. I think Kim might fold this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, she does.
agreed. I'm really interested what it seems like a lot I think a lot of the when people limp there's a lot of raising with aces, ace X, but Kim's been finding like these bottom offsuit ace X, although she does find a raise here.
Yeah, and takes a sizing that really does put Daniel in jail there.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's a function of the blocker quality of that hand.
right. Because she had been calling like ace deuce off. She called these or just flat or checked those limps.
Yeah.
Um, so
Well, and
but
Kim's a thoughtful player who's going to be protecting her checking range.
right,
That's something that she's cognizant of. I think a lot of players sort of talk that talk, but don't walk that walk at the tables because, like, oh, I'm not going to play enough hands against this player to really need
right,
to act in a
right.
balanced way. I think Kim really does commit to the theory
Yep,
of the strategy. So,
agreed.
hmm let's see. Oh God,
Ah,
what a
this is
oh man.
this is just
Oh my God. So they're both just stringing each other along at this point. This is gross. And Dan's got to be saying on the flop, "Oh man, I hope she has a seven." And then that turn is just brutal. He goes for a pretty modest value here, half pot.
I wonder if he can get away.
We'll see a raise from Kim, maybe a shove, make it oh,
The
but
problem is, no, she's
even the
not re I
club
mean,
came in, it's double paired. Yeah, she has to go for it. But what can he do here? He's telling himself maybe she made a flush. Maybe
yeah,
she
but is
made a
she
flush.
shoving a flush? She's not,
No,
right?
I don't think she is. That's
She's
right.
calling with a flush. So like what?
He
Yeah, great
does.
fold.
He
Great fold.
does. And
Bravo.
and I don't think Kim really like benefits from playing that any other way. I don't
No,
think he
no, she
calls a
has to shove
smaller
there, but
sizing. I think it's
but
the right
it's
play.
a really excellent shove. But
Yeah.
okay, we're all in. Sixes
Okay, well,
versus
here
ace
we go.
high.
That
We're flipping, and so far the sixes are holding,
Kim does get an edge with the paired board, but let's see what the river brings in. Okay.
and we're gonna go right back to
Dan
a new dynamic. I
picks it
mean,
up
just
again.
this is like the arm wrestling thing where the hand gets on top and the other one gets on top, and it's just back and forth.
Oh man, Eric jumping into the chat there with kudos for the fold there. Yeah, absolutely. And listen, you make one good fold and then literally double up the next hand, and now
Yep.
you're chip leader again.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very close, but those margins make a big difference.
Yeah.
People
No, if he
complain
clicks
all the
call there,
time.
this match is over, right? And now he's got the
Yes.
chip lead. So like, and he thought it through and he's like, she's not doing this with flushes. I have a three.
Yep.
So I'm calling for a chop, maybe.
Right. Right.
And most of the time she just has a seven there. It's just it's a really good fold.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And people complain about their bust out hands, and those bust out hands really stick with people. But the hands that get lost are those hands, an orbit before the bust out, when you made a decision that you could have made differently, and maybe
Yeah.
that's what actually functionally costs you the tournament. So
Right.
much can be gained from these hands that we don't think of as being pivotal hands. That's why it's really important to take notes while you're playing. Find, and this is true for so many of our members, our audience, coaching clients. Take better notes while you're playing. Take a little discipline. If you're playing online, get a program like Poker Tracker, and having some objective results, so some objective data to measure your thinking process and your results is extremely, extremely valuable. Your
Yeah.
memory is an unreliable memory.
Memory is very bad.
Yeah.
I'm always like when I'm trying to remember a hand, I'm like, well, there were three cards, maybe there were four cards, I can't remember. I was in some seat, maybe somewhere between the button and the under the gun. I
Yeah.
had like, 20 to 100 big blinds. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
My
It's
opponent
it's a
was had a
skill.
pipe or was wearing a hat. I don't know.
One of the two. It's a real skill. Kim actually ran a seminar for Rec Poker members a couple years ago about how to take more effective notes
Oh, really?
and what to pay more attention to and like how to use a shorthand effectively. I think it's one of our free videos over at Rec Poker. I hope folks go and check
Oh,
it out.
cool.
I recommend it to a lot of my coaching
Yeah,
clients.
that's a learning how to take shorthand notes and learning coming up with a strategy so that you actually do it. It's really, especially if you play a lot of live, it's
Yeah.
so helpful.
Now I think we'll get a call from Kim here.
Yeah.
This is one of the limping hands that she wants to see a flop with, and she does. Pretty
And
good
she
board.
definitely outflops here.
Yeah, Dan's got the
I think she'll be happy
backdoor
to check this back. I think.
second pair. It's pretty dynamic.
No, she does
Does
find a
go
bet.
for half pot. And Dan makes
And
disciplined fold there with the ace
yeah,
high in the back door.
interesting because he has the ace of spades there. I think with the ace of spades, I don't know. That might be, especially because we cover her. I think that might be
Yeah,
a one we want to at least see the turn and make her fold us off some of our equity in later hands. But okay, so we flop top pair here as Dan, and Kim has the draw to a very nice flush.
mm-hmm. Dan makes a small bet. He's not
Small
worried about that
bet,
flush. Like actually, it's a limped pot. So even though it is a small bet in absolute terms, it's almost pot size.
right? And bang, she
Yep,
hits it.
that's not what he was hoping to see. Might be hard for her to get paid here.
Yeah, I think so. Although, I mean, he does have top pair. Um, I see. I would have liked a smaller bet there though, because what what is going to call that big of a bet?
Right.
I think you could have gotten paid by what he's really telegraphed there is like the kinds of hands we're hoping to target are Queen X, right?
Right.
And maybe Queen X with a club, I guess, is what she's hoping for there. But I think that that's probably ambitious because even like a lowly club is going to feel a little bit of pressure from that big of a bet.
I agree. So Dan following up, two overs and a gut shot. Kim flopping top pair
Yep.
and an over and a three bet pot. Dan does have a lot of equity here, but Kim has the made hand. And I think when he checks, that does kind of open the door for a value bet from
Hmm.
Kim here. He should, I mean, I'm sure he has some sneaky little check raises in here too. Oh, although
Oh,
that kind of takes them out of play when
that's a lot of
push comes to
value.
shove. Yep.
And that's interesting because she knows her hand is probably best there, but also quite vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like every card, like ha half
Yes.
the deck is
From
maybe
more
more
than
than
half
half
the
the
deck.
deck is
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah,
for
it's
her
true.
on rivers. So
A great point.
I think that might be what she decided there.
I like that. Yeah, I like the bet here from Kim. Dan just getting the right odds to call there with his flush draw. And then Kim choosing to check behind when she improves. I think that's a missed value bet there from Kim. I think she can get, I think he has a lot of hands that don't contain an ace that'll pay her
Hmm.
off.
Hmm. Yeah, like this hand. This hand would have paid to
Yeah.
see the river.
And this is something I talk about a lot in our group sessions that if you're going to take a street off, if you're only going to bet flop and
Whoa.
turn,
He
did he
finds a
call?
call with Jack High
Jack
there.
high. There you go.
All right. I
Must
see
have felt that
you.
was
I
very
see you,
polarized.
Dan. I
Yeah.
see you.
Don't go playing with Dan. I love it. If you're going to take one street off, if you're going to bet flop and turn or flop and river, then the turn is really your only opportunity to get value from draws. So
Right.
if you think
Right.
if your opponent's range has any draws in it at all, if you give them the turn off and then bet the river, you're just free rolling all their draws. You're much better off betting that turn and
Yeah.
checking back the river
Yeah.
instead.
All right. Now Dan's getting pretty low, and so
Yes.
Kim's finding some shoves um to really put him in the blender. Um
And it's a tricky spot. Not only is the Somsky ratio reached three, that isn't always the death knell, but just to be this low in absolute numbers of chips, to
mhm.
be closer to, or in big blinds rather,
Yep.
does start to feel a little anxious because the blinds are going by so quickly. All it takes is five or six hands, bad hands in a row, and you can really find yourself down to nothing in no time. Now, I think we'll see a bet from Dan here. When Kim checks back, we do another over bet.
Nice overbet
I
there. I
really
mean, I
like
think
it.
he that's a good read of the situation too. I
Yeah.
think like he just knows that everything that beats him bets there. So,
Yep. I like it.
and then when the two pairs, it's like, yeah,
That's definitely not Kim's card, and he gets to
no,
really protect that
no.
equity. All
Here
right,
we
snap
go.
calling with ace 10. Let's see, can King 6 do the upset?
Or are we back to another one of those? Here we go. New another another wrestle back,
That's
and
right. This is
this
amazing.
is this is I mean, just like
Heart. This is it. This is, I mean, this is what you love about these kind of matches, isn't it?
yeah,
These
nobody
players
nobody is going out quietly here.
unafraid. I love it. Should see a small bet from Dan here in this raised pot. Now, again, advantage Dan, where Kim still has 16 big blinds, but it's going to start to feel like fewer soon. She does go for the shove
Yep.
with King
Yeah,
nine
I
suited.
mean, now she's in that situation where she can finding some shoves, and she's in that kind of that a little bit of that danger zone where Dan can put a lot of pressure on her
Yeah.
with smaller bets. So
I will say the one thing, oh my God. All right. So a pretty good board for Dan there.
very good board.
See, I think that's enough to stop Kim from putting too many chips in here. I will say, Dan can wield a big stack like the best of them, but he's not going to find Kim rattled. She's going to know
No,
exactly how to respond in these spots. So it is still very much to be played here, I think.
yeah, I know she does a lot of work on short stack play and really
Hmm.
knows it
Hmm.
backwards and forwards. So
Yeah. Her and all the poker friends forever, Stu Carriage and Elizabeth Bennett Martin, their triumvirate of poker fun, traveling around the
right,
world, having a great time. It's a life. That they're all
it's pretty
phenomenal
good.
players. They know how to nurse that short stack too. That is such an important part of tournament poker.
Wonder, yeah, I think this will just should just check it back. I think
She's got the gut shot and
she's got the
five high. It's
gutter.
like it's not going to get a fold here, but ooh, and that might be now I think she can check back.
Yeah, she probably does check back.
Yeah. All right. I don't, yeah, I think that's the right play there. But I hate that. I hate it when you're betting a draw and you end up making a pair. It's like, what the hell, man? That's not what
All
I
right,
called there
we're all
for.
in here again.
Yep.
Ace six versus king nine.
The king does hit.
Oh,
That
king and the
puts,
six. So this is the, oh boy.
oh, no, I think that's it. Well, all right. Unfortunately, the irrelevant river means that Dan Kennedy could not be killed.
Could not be killed. That's what
The
I mean. When you got a guy wielding a knife, you gotta watch out for him.
the boy who did not die, Dan Kennedy, takes out beloved to many Kim Kilroy.
Yeah, my
Um,
pick. Took out my pick.
that's right. And
So
he had no believers in the booth, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough to keep him back.
well, that motivated him. I'm sure we motivated him.
I think that must be what it was. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to Dan. Very well fought by Kim. I
Yeah,
thought she just
that was
could
an
not
excellent match. Good game to
win those
both
flips.
players.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
Love it. Now here we are. We've got Craig Savage versus Matt Matros. This is so cool, man. I know like we teased it at the top of the show, but two WSOP bracelet winning Rec Poker members and
Yeah.
coaches duking it out here in the
Yeah.
Elite Eight
This
of
is this
MaREC
is
Madness.
this is yeah, I mean this is why they put this in the primetime slot, right? The
That's
nightcap
right.
slot is like you put the
Ugh. It's
so
hard to believe. It's hard to
yeah,
believe.
we
Well,
got Duke
uh,
versus North Carolina or whatever they are these days. I haven't been following college basketball these days, but you got the primo matchup here coming up.
Absolutely. So I think one thing we can say for sure is we're not going to see a lot of like big mistakes in this game. I think this match is going to be a lot of controlled aggression, taking small edges. Neither one of these players is afraid to push their equity, but they're
Mhm.
also going to want to, both these players are very skilled. They've both competed at the top levels in recreational poker. Matt's been a pro for a while, as well as an how do you not pick Matt Matros? He's like written all
Yeah.
these books about
Yeah.
poker. I've
How do
gotten
you
some
not,
coaching
right?
from
But
him. I think he's an outstanding player. Craig's got the like the new kid energy, right? Just won his first bracelet this summer. I think I'm giving Matt the edge, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this come down.
yeah, same. I mean, Craig knocked me out, so what do I know? But I mean,
That's right.
it's tough to argue against Matt Matros. He's very, very, very good at poker.
It's
And
true.
I'm really fun to see this match. So yeah, right away he comes up raising to four off of a really dusty hand, which is also I think very theory approved. So
Mm.
it's an interesting beginning to this one.
Yeah, and Craig taking the limp call line and getting to a board like this where he does have a little draw equity,
A little
but
bit, yeah. He'd
not a
like to have a
lot.
club in there to
Hmm.
like give himself a little bit more hope, especially in a raised pot there.
And Matt does take a open fold line with a similarly weak hand. So really about pouncing on that limp from Craig.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
on that first hand, really setting the tone that we are not going to allow a lot of limps here.
Right.
People are going to have to deal with the consequences.
So Matt flops bottom pair. We get a C bet from Craig, and he calls fairly quickly. He's now got
Oh
bottom
man,
two.
yikes!
Um,
I think
so
if
it's
Craig checks here, he kind of feels like he's giving up the game a little bit
yep,
and opening up the door. But that is the appropriate play sometimes.
right.
Sometimes that C bet doesn't work and your opponent's range tightens up. And
I was just gonna say the ace is the only card that he might bluff
yeah,
in this spot. Um, it is an interesting bluffing card. I actually don't blame him for that, but then Matt just slams the door here.
yeah, nothing Craig can do in this spot. I mean, I guess
I mean, he
very,
could get
he
really
could get
frisky.
very
He's
spicy.
thinking.
Yeah. And I
He
like that
does
he's
have the
thinking
blocker
too.
to the Jack 10, but
I like that oh man, okay. So two very good hands here. Matros limping with aces, and Craig's gonna come in for an isolation here to four. He does. How does Matt respond? He's gonna get to play this hand in position. Players are still very deep stacked. The limp re-raise
Hmm. He's
on
got a
king.
gutter now.
That's really it. This is the kind of spot where it's like you're really playing the draw. You do not want to make a jack or a queen here. That does not
Right.
really help you.
Right. I think he'll probably call. Whoa. All right.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
interesting.
maybe.
All right. And does get the smooth. Oh yeah, no, that might
Oh,
be. Oh God. This is the thing you don't. Oh man. Still
yeah.
this.
This could.
Now that's kind of scary for Matros when you take because a lot of those check raises are like pair plus draw hands, and some
Right.
of them became straights and some of them became two pair here.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
and he goes for it. So 10 on the river or oh man, just like that. Talk
Wow.
about pushing edges. Talk about like
Wow.
taking every
That was
amount
just
of
we just
equity.
we just sort of settled in and it was like
I
lightning
know.
round.
I was going to ask you for some of your thoughts on, having played against one of these guys last week and how that was going to go. But Matt takes them out early thanks to both players really getting into it
Yeah. Well,
with
and
a
you
lot of
predicted
equity in
it.
those hands too.
You
Sorry,
predicted it
Chris.
right there. You're like, you don't want to hit the queen or the jack here.
Yeah.
And I think like, yeah, that's a
Wow.
spot. I think when you raise that hand, you have to think about that spot too. And just like that queen isn't necessarily as good as it seems.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and we that was kind of the theme of the night. We were talking about this a few times, where it's like sort of choosing um, pairs as bluffs in some spots, or choosing to sort of treat your hand that had both showdown value and draw value, sort of like playing it more like the draw or like emphasizing the draw. And that is it. I mean, I've been in that spot so many times where, I'm calling a three bet with some sort of suited Broadway or suited connector. And it's really a situation where one pair is not a value hand in those
right,
spots.
right,
And
right.
but it's one of the ways that you're sort of like trained to think about improving with your hand. It's like, you make second pair or something like that. How do you not continue in the hand at that point? But
Right.
it's almost like set mining or flush mining. It's like if I don't hit the actual quality of the hand that I'm looking for, it's sort of like a binary thing, and you got to let
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
you can
know.
because you have to like think about the action of that hand too all the way through. And I guess I mean Matt is accomplished enough of a player to have some bluffs there, but we're really only beating bluffs.
Right.
And
Yes.
and even somebody like Matt, I mean, they're gonna be weighted towards value there, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way that hand played out. But yeah, anyway, it was
Man.
very I understand it. You kind of throw in that aggression, you have the raise, you go there with the gutter, you hit your top pair. I don't know. I mean, maybe at that point I've committed so many chips, I just feel committed to this pot and I want to try to take it down. So
Yep. I
yeah.
mean, it must have been a hell of a feeling. I know, these players like they know who they're going to be playing in these matches too. And so Craig, I know thinks very highly of Matt, and I'm sure if he felt like he was maybe giving up a skill edge in the match, then you kind of do take these more volatile, like high variance
Right.
spots and
Right.
sort of let the poker gods sort him out a little bit. But man, well, okay, so let's see. We're going to be back next week. We've got the final four,
Final four.
so that's pretty cool. We know it's going to be a combination of Dan Kennedy, Joe Coolis, Rob Washam, and Matt Matros. Thank you, Eric Anderson, jumping out there saying like and subscribe if you made it that far. I do appreciate that. Yeah, we got a few folks here in the YouTube chat. Nothing would make me happier than to get some clicks on. Not a single like in the YouTube chat so far today. You don't even have to be subscribed to put a like in there. Give us a like there, folks. Make Eric Anderson proud of you, and you can
Yeah,
put a
I
smile
agree.
on Chris's face too. That's so funny. Yeah, really really fun chatter in the YouTube chat tonight. Lots of fun folks comments in there. Appreciate that. We got two Erics, two of my favorite Erics in the YouTube chat. How about that?
Yeah, so
Um,
in terms of the matchups, the next matchups, it looks like in the bracket it'll be Matros versus Elvita 11 Joe Kulis and
oh,
Washam versus Daniel Kennedy.
how about that? That's exciting. So Joe is the only remaining previous winner.
Right.
So having to go through one of the guys that literally wrote a book about poker, that's going to be
Yeah.
a big matchup there. And we've already given Dan and Rob a lot of flowers tonight. That's going to be a great match as well. So hopefully a nice clean fight, no injuries, no penalties, and let's just let the best man win. Use this Taylor Moss approved structure to use. All right, folks. Yeah, join us next week, Tuesday night, every Tuesday night in MaREC, or March, as some of you call it, at 9 o'clock Eastern. Big thanks to Taylor Moss again for all his efforts to put this together every year.
Player of
And
the
Chris,
week, Taylor Moss.
Player of the Week. That's right. Rec.Poker Unofficial Player of the Week. And big hat tip to Phil for sharing the limelight for that one. Chris, thanks for your time in the booth tonight. I always enjoy getting to talk poker with you, pal. This is great.
All right, peace, everyone.
See you next time, everyone. Take care.